I always trusted my wife, Emily. We had been together for 8 years, married for 5, and I believed we had a rock-solid relationship. She was a nurse, working long hours at the hospital, and I never questioned her late shifts when she came home at odd hours. Lately, though, something felt off. Emily's behavior changed. She became more distant, her phone was always locked, and she started putting more effort into her appearance, even on days off. It was subtle at first, new makeup, a different hairstyle, a sudden interest in perfume. I told myself it was nothing. But then there were the late-night showers as soon as she got home, the unexplained expenses on her credit card, and the smell of men's cologne lingering on her clothes, something I knew damn well wasn't mine. At first, I convinced myself I was imagining things. Maybe I was just being paranoid. Maybe the long hours were getting to her. Maybe the stress of her job was why she seemed cold toward me lately. But the excuses started to sound weaker the more I tried to believe them. The truth was simple. Something was wrong. One night, she came home even later than usual. The clock read 3:17 a.m. when I heard the front door click open softly. Normally, Emily was tired, fumbling around in the dark, tossing her bag on the couch before making her way to bed. But not this time. This time, she was careful. Too careful. She closed the door quietly, slipped off her shoes at the entrance, and tiptoed through the house as if she didn't want to wake me. I wasn't asleep. I had been lying in bed for hours, waiting. That was the night I decided to find out the truth. Over the next week, I played along like nothing was wrong, but behind the scenes, I was preparing. If Emily was lying to me, I needed proof. Undeniable, concrete evidence. I started small, asking innocent questions about her shifts. How was work? Were you busy? Anyone new on the night shift? Her answers were vague, rushed, as if she wanted to end the conversation as soon as possible. The guilt was practically seeping from her voice, but she didn't know that I had already started digging. First, I checked her phone when she was in the shower. I wasn't proud of it, but my instinct screamed that something was off. Of course, she had a password, one she had never used before. That alone sent another wave of suspicion crashing over me. I backed off for the time being, but I wasn't done. The next step was tracking her movements. I installed a GPS tracker in her car, a small device tucked under the driver's seat that would give me her exact location at all times. Then I set up a hidden camera in our living room, pointed toward the front door. If she was sneaking in and out at strange hours, I was going to catch her. The first night, she followed her usual pattern, leaving at 8 p.m., supposedly heading to work. But when I checked the tracker, my stomach dropped. She wasn't at the hospital. She had driven across town and parked outside a small hotel. I sat there staring at the screen, my fists clenching. This wasn't a misunderstanding. She wasn't at work. She wasn't stuck in a long shift or covering for a coworker. She was cheating on me. Still, I needed more. I waited. The next night, the same thing. She left, drove to the same hotel, and spent hours inside before coming home around 3 a.m. By the third night, I had seen enough. My wife wasn't just sneaking around. She was playing me for a fool. But she had no idea I was about to turn the tables. On the night I set my plan into motion, I pretended everything was normal. Emily got ready for her shift, kissed me goodbye, and walked out the door like she had done every other night. She had no clue that I was watching her in real time on my phone screen as the GPS tracker in her car showed her heading straight to the hotel. I spent the next hour setting up my trap. First, I turned off all the lights in the house, except for the hallway leading to our bedroom. Then I locked the front door from the inside, forcing her to use the back entrance, the one with the motion sensor linked to my phone. I adjusted the curtains to cast eerie shadows across the living room, making the space feel unnerving, almost haunted. But the real kicker was the sound system. Using hidden Bluetooth speakers, I preloaded a chilling audio file, one designed to send her into a full-blown panic. By 3:30 a.m., my phone buzzed. She was home. I sat in the darkness, listening. The back door creaked open. She slipped inside, moving carefully, believing she was sneaking in undetected. She had done this countless times before, probably laughing to herself about how easily she was fooling me. But this time, She wasn't in control. I was. Just as she reached the bedroom door, asterisk, asterisk, bang. Asterisk, asterisk. A blood-curdling scream blasted through the speakers. It wasn't loud enough to alert the neighbors, but it was enough to freeze her in place. Then came the voice, deep, guttural, and unnatural. "I see you." Emily gasped, dropping her purse. Her breathing turned frantic as she whipped around, looking for the source of the voice. Then, the lights in the hallway flickered, another trick I had set up with a smart timer. She let out a strangled cry and bolted into the bedroom, her face drained of color. She clutched her chest, struggling to catch her breath. I sat up in bed, calm, composed. Rough shift. Her head snapped toward me, her wide, terror-filled eyes searching mine. And then she saw what I was holding, my phone, displaying the GPS tracker, the hidden camera footage of her sneaking in and out, and worst of all, the messages between her and her lover. She opened her mouth to speak, but nothing came out. She knew. She had been caught. And the fear in her eyes told me she finally understood. Her late-night games were over. Emily's face went pale as she stared at the screen in my hands. Her lips trembled, her fingers twitching as if she wanted to grab the phone from me and erase everything, but it was too late. "You went to the hotel again tonight," I said, my voice eerily calm. "Third night in a row. And not for work." She swallowed hard, her breath uneven. "I can explain." I let out a cold laugh. "Oh, I'd love to hear it. Go ahead. Explain why my wife has been sneaking into a hotel with another man while I sit here like a fool, thinking she's working late shifts." Tears welled in her eyes. "It's not what you think." Not what I think." I cut her off, flipping through the photos I had saved. Screenshots of the tracker's logs, the hidden camera footage of her tiptoeing in, the texts, asterisk, asterisk, all the disgusting messages, asterisk, asterisk, she had exchanged with her affair partner. She clamped a hand over her mouth, as if she could physically stop herself from breaking down. "Please, just listen." "I've listened enough," I said coldly. "But here's what you haven't listened to, Emily, the consequences." Her breath hitched. What do you mean?" I smiled, but there was no warmth in it. "You should check your email." Confused, she fumbled for her phone. Her hands were shaking so badly that it took her 3 tries to unlock it. When she finally got in, she gasped. I had already sent the evidence to her boss. "You think sneaking around behind my back was bad?" I said, tilting my head. "How do you think the hospital is going to react when they find out one of their trusted nurses has been skipping shifts and lying about it?" She nearly dropped her phone. No, you wouldn't." "I already did." I leaned forward, my eyes locking onto hers. "And that's just the beginning." Her breaths came in shallow gasps, her whole body trembling. She reached for me, desperation in her eyes. "Please, baby, Asterisk, don't. Asterisk, my voice was like ice. "You don't get to baby me. You threw that away the second you decided to betray me." Tears streamed down her face as she realized just how deep she had dug her grave. "By the way," I added, standing up, "you might want to start looking for a new place. The divorce papers will be on the table by morning." Emily fell to her knees, sobbing, but I didn't feel an ounce of sympathy. She had made her choice. And now, she was living with the terrifying reality of what it had cost her.